Hello and welcome back to Carnivorr Goes for Gold. If you're following along on Instagram, you know me as the crazy person who's trying to eat at Jonathan Gould's best 101 restaurants in 101 days. So it's hard work, but somebody's got to do it. And this is a recap of restaurants 22 through 24, so a quarter of the way through the 101 list. Restaurant 22 went to Connie and Ted's in West Hollywood with my friend who's worldwide foodie on Instagram. Give her a follow. She and I went to Michael Chimeristi's casual restaurant. He's also the chef of Providence, which is #1 on the list every single year. We'll see if it is this year, but this is his more casual seafood, New England style shack. Never been before, and it was really delicious. What did we order? We started with their New England style clam chowder. Jonathan recommended it. It was great. They have a clam chowder sampler, but we just went for the one that Jonathan recommended. I'm sure they're all fantastic. We also started with some Parker rolls that were fluffy, golden, a little sea salt on top. So good, so buttery. And we got, the lobster roll, which was the best thing, I think, there. It was the best lobster roll I've ever had. It was fantastic. It was $30, so I was like, really? In New York, I'm used to them being like $20. I don't know if 30 is the norm, but it seemed a little steep to me, so I didn't know how it could live up to it. Was amazing. Butter, 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 like, you had me at butter always, but this was absolutely worth every penny. I will be coming back for that lobster roll alone. It was amazing. Just look at it, just overflowing with lobster meat. Did I mention the butter? It was incredible. We also tried their fish and chips. They were great fish and chips, really nicely fried, not too doughy, not too greasy. They didn't make you feel sick. They were just good fish and good fries along with it. A nice tartar sauce. I think that was it for the food, and then we saved room for their blondie brownie, which was incredible. It's another thing that they're super, super known for. So you have this gorgeous golden brownie square topped with their house-made ice cream, drenched in caramel. I don't always love caramel, but this was like a house-made caramel sauce, not like caramel syrup, like sauce, caramel sauce. And then the sea salt on top, again, just brought out the sweet and the salty. It made it so addicting. We were pretty stuffed by this point in our meal, but we were still devouring this dessert. We couldn't finish it though, so we had to call in our waiter. Whit was his name. He was hilarious the whole time, helping us out with recommendations, and we were like, Whit, we can't finish this, and he stood at our table with us and ate the last bite. So that's how good it is. The waiter was helping us eat it. Incredible. Restaurant 23, I went to Chef Ludo Lefebvre's fancier side of his French restaurant empire, which was Trois Mec, and did his tasting menu, which is, he's one of the most influential chefs in Los Angeles. Really fantastic French food, so I was very excited to try his tasting menu. It was really an incredible experience. So we started with Madeleines, like the little cookies, but these ones were really interesting flavors. One was lemon thyme, loved it. One was tandoori, like the Indian spice. Super unique. I've never seen such creative Madeleine flavors. It feels like definitely a possibility there. Let's open that door into that world. I love pastries and I love Madeleines, and so inventive. Next went on to this crispy tapioca, so it's kind of like crispy rice, but also kind of like a little harder, kind of like a fried mac and cheese-ish texture, but not that flavor. It was really good. I've never had anything like this. Just a wonderful way to start the meal. This is not even to the courses yet. This is just little appetizer, little bites to get your palate excited to go. Then moved on to the bread course. So there was brioche and there was sourdough with 3 types of butter, because you gotta have a flight of butter to go with your flight of bread. The more butter, the better for me. Better butter. And there was a seaweed butter, which was like a seasonal one. There was a sake butter. It's like liquid with sake in it, like alcoholic. I was like, can I get drunk on this? Just taking shots of butter. That was incredible. But my favorite one was the brown butter emulsion. I love brown butter. Just gives it so much more of a flavor. That was also a liquid. I was just dipping my bread. Okay, yeah, we're not even to the main courses. So here we go. I think the most impressive thing about Trois Mec for me were the vegetables. I didn't always love vegetables. More of a meat eater, but he trained under Alain Passard, who's known for his famous vegetarian menu at Arpège in Paris, which I went to earlier this summer. And I loved that, and you can totally see that Chef Ludo has like brought these vegetables to life in the same way that is just wow, it wows me. So the first course was the smoked beet tartare. I did not love beets ever before. I loved this dish. I think it was my favorite on the tasting menu just because I didn't used to love beets. Now I'm like, bring them on, bring on the beets. So this had onion, creme fraiche on top, some eel, caviar. Oh, it was just so good. Gorgeous beet color. Next went on to pickled eggplant. Again, didn't used to love eggplant, as I've mentioned, but now I'm all in on it. This pickling was great, and it was gorgeous plating with the little flowers on top and some different sauces. One was a black curry and one was a gray yogurt. Really creative. Then we moved on to the turbo, the fish course, which was, white fish fillet in an orange, like yellow curry sauce. It's delicious. And finally, the meat course, which was the grilled pork toro, so the fatty part of the pork, kind of like thicker little strips of bacon and lentils. There's some stone fruit in there, a little bit of lemon, I think. That was great. And then desserts, so many desserts there too. One was really inventive. It was crispy bread ice cream. So there was ice cream, and then it was topped with Comte cheese, the French cheese, which was like sweet, nutty cheese. You wouldn't think, I wouldn't think to put it in a dessert, but it totally works. That sweet and nutty cheese with the creamy ice cream. Really haven't had anything like that. And then finishing with a fall dessert that was barley crumble, cider caramel, what were the other parts? Smoked gelato, and then I think there's apple butter on there too. So you just felt like you're picking apples on a farm. Really liked that and mixed it all together. Just had like that smoky apple, cozy. I wanted to wear a flannel shirt and, be apple picking. And then, the last sweet bite was a marshmallow covered with hazelnuts. So, fantastic tasting menu at Trois Mec. Loved Petit Trois when I went earlier on this challenge, and I can totally see why Chef Ludo is such a powerhouse here in LA. So thank you, Chef Ludo. And Restaurant 24 went to Spring in downtown LA, which is Chef Tony Ano's of Church and State. Also, this is his tasting menu restaurant, also French, but a little more formal. Really loved this tasting menu as well. 2 French tasting menus back to back. It's, pretty awesome. So we started there with, this gorgeous plate of hamachi crudo. It just looks like a work of art, just like painted on there. Just the colors popping. There's radishes, there's the fish, there's pickled mustard seeds. The pickled mustard seeds I loved with the wine pairing. We started with a glass of champagne, and the pickled mustard seeds just kind of popped in your mouth as the champagne is popping in your mouth. It was like a celebration. Welcome to Spring. Amazing restaurant. Loved that. All of our wine pairings were fantastic, but that one really stood out to me. Then we also went on to another incredible beet dish. Again, didn't like beets before these 2 back-to-back meals. These French chefs, they can't be beat. Okay, dad joke. This beet was in a risotto, beet risotto, with the rice in there, and there were pickled yellow beets on top. This color is so hot pink, so gorgeous. I just want to paint walls with this color, and just livens up life. It's beautiful to look at. That was so good. It was just so creamy. Loved that beet dish. What did we have next? We went on to diver scallops. So diver scallops means that the diver actually has to dive down and get these scallops out, like hand-picked, kind of like farm to table, sea to table. I don't know, scallop. Really the best scallop I've ever had as well. And that was served with this squid pasta. They're not caviar on the plate. They're little pearls, squid pearl pastas. So nice fishy, beautiful color, the black and the white, yin yang, fishy. Really an excellent dish on this tasting menu. Next, we went on to the duck breast, which is what Chef Tony is really famous for. Jonathan wrote all about it. So we also had duck at his other restaurant, Church and State, but that was great, but they were like smaller slices. This was a big hunk of duck, skin on, and what made this one stand out was the honey glaze on the skin, which gave it that sweet duck flavor. It was just melted in your mouth. I've never loved duck as much as I loved it while eating this dish, and that came with yam and pomegranates. It just felt cozy and fall, just the flavors bursting. I love when things are sweet and sweet and savory. Yeah. This duck, you gotta go. You just gotta go and try it for yourself. It's worth a trip to spring. I mean, everything is. Then we went on to dessert. Another really nice fall dessert. This one was all about pear. There's fresh pear. I love when they take an ingredient and do it a bunch of different ways on the plate, which is what happened here. Fresh pear, I think pear gelato, some pear cream with other fall flavors like pecans, caramelized pecans, pecan and bourbon cream on there. Just a gorgeous dessert. Yeah, wow, that might have been my favorite tasting menu in LA so far, but you know, they're all such good choices that can't complain about any of these restaurants. So those are restaurants 22 through 24, a quarter of the way through 101, and it was so good. Maybe one of the best weeks of eating yet. So thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, please subscribe, and remember to stay tuned on Instagram at Carnivorr. Carnivorr goes for gold is the hashtag. I'm going to one a day, meeting the chefs, talking about food, so follow along and come eat with me if you're hungry. Thanks, bye.